What's poppin'? I'm super live. I mean, I'm super late. Not super live. I'm super late. Let me go ahead and make this poll. And give the video a like. Alright. Should be good to go now. Do my normal routine and turn the TV on. Damn, it's hot. Please have mercy on me. Have mercy. Bitch ass remote, blood. This remote, Oh, brother, why won't my remote work? Come on, dog. I don't deserve this. I pay my taxes. Oh, there we go. Phew. I was about to start praying. Who's up in here right now not saying nothing? Well, until y'all get up in here and start talking, I'm gonna watch some TV. I just gotta find something to watch. Más allá de tus ojos, tú sin ti me agotas en tu alma. El amor escaso en tu corazón.
Al ver a Azuelo y Calani, tengo la esperanza de que sea cual sea el problema que tengan, podrán resolver las cosas por su
La razón.
Me hace pensar que tienen la posibilidad de hacer que funcione.
Bueno, vamos a rezar por ustedes y también vamos a desearles lo mejor.
CSI. The Mentalist. My favorite show.
Casa de la Reina. Y ácido hialurónico para
a lo ves, más allá de tus ojos.
Llevas el poder de eliminar las manchas más difíciles, dejando tu ropa como nueva en cada lavado. Todos los días.
Y el
Te
amor.
vas mucho más cuando eliges Clorox Ropa. Llevas al experto que te mancha sin cloro que deja tu ropa como nueva. Cuando realmente importa, confía en Clorox.
Who are the two people creeping in this stream? And why would you not speak? That's almost rude. Imagine if I was just hiding in your attic, just listening to you, and I never said hi. That's what you're doing right now. You're just hanging out in my basement or something, or in my attic.
Tú no elegiste tener incontinencia, pero lo que importa es cómo eliges enfrentarla. Elige la ropa interior desechable
I need to make a
la
list.
protección que no se filtra, no se marca y no se nota. Siente tu piel, queda lento.
Then I took a trip and I figured like it should. Through the sky. Got nothing to write on. So I can't make a list exactly. Very interesting.
Una varejita feliz empieza con Estógeno 3 y su fórmula con Comfortis Pro con probióticos y nutrientes que ayudan a su función digestiva, inmunidad y desarrollo. Y le cae bien. Estógeno 3, creciendo feliz.
Muchos gamers disfrutan jugando en el mundo virtual, pero sin un buen centavo
Bum,
solo en
bum,
el mundo real.
bum.
Porque a veces la vida puede ser dura, incómoda.
Boom, boom, boom,
En
boom.
situaciones como estas, no sentirse.
Sí. Comprometedora.
Comprometedora en el aspecto de que está afectando a uno de los clientes principales, el que me trajo esa
I gotta
fotografía,
give
uno de
this
los
stream
clientes
like
principales.
15, 20 minutes to heat up because I didn't put a warning for this. I forgot. Because I was going to do it last night and I didn't do it, so.
Bastante fuertes, que son los que me mantienen más que todo la fuerza en el trabajo. Si yo acepto, ¿cómo se llama?, continuar con ella, él me dijo que puede retirar todos esos contratos y qué es lo que va a suceder. Yo no tendré manera
O sea
de
que esta persona, te amenazó.
De alguna manera es una sugerencia lo que...
No, vamos a analizar esto. Porque él tiene un cliente que lo está chantajeando. Y él no está siendo un empresario y un empleador justo en decirle a su cliente, pero espérate, tú me estás pidiendo que yo despida a una mujer que es trabajadora, que nunca se ha comportado mal.
También han sucedido otro tipo de complaints.
¿Cómo qué?
Como el aspecto de que cuando ella está trabajando no está usando como debe de hacerse su uniforme de trabajo. No mantiene su
¿Por qué? Porque no me pongo un sostén.
con un sostén.
Solo por eso.
Entonces,
Pero espérate, tú obligas a la gente a ponerse sostén como parte del uniforme.
no es, me refiero a
Hey, Felipe, what's up, bro? Buenas noches.
Y mi restaurante es familiar.
Y los hombres que tienen
¿Todo
trabajo
bien?
en camisa.
¿Todo bien?
Eso es doble moral, porque esos señores tienen pezón igual. ¿Quién tiene testigos? ¿Quién tiene testigos?
Yo tengo testigo.
¿Y tú tienes testigos? Vamos a hacer un corto receso y a la cuenta seguimos abordando este tema. Pensamos después de este corto receso.
No posso reclamar.
Now there won't be any charges pressed against you for shooting Brandon.
Oh, thank goodness for that.
You know this is the end of my Portuguese. There's nothing else I can say now.
That's really it. I mean, I feel terrible. But what was he thinking sneaking around our house with a gun? What does he say he was doing?
He's still recovering from surgery. We're going to talk to him as soon as we can.
The guy named Karen is the other killed her husband. It's the guy that's getting used to it.
Felipe, you got some slang for me today, man, or what?
Oh my God.
Yes. Sydney may be an accessory to murder,
I'm watching
We didn't shoot you. Can't tell that to the judge. I'm sorry, it's big time.
it's a show called The Mentalist.
It's your broke friend. We got the
Or how should I say that?
It's the same gun used to kill Felix.
Estoy asistiendo The Mentalist.
A lot of trouble.
Oh, asistiendo? How you say it? Asistiendo? Asistiendo? I don't know.
Did you know you were going to use the gun to kill her father? I did.
Portuguese pronunciation is too
Did
different.
she ask you to do?
Too different.
Charging you with the murder of Felix Hansen. We just want to know Cindy's involved. You people have no idea.
Have you ever heard of The Mentalist, bro? It's my favorite show of all time.
Whatever, man, you like to hurt people. That'd be a good reason to kill a man. If he was hurting someone that you love. Yeah, any man would do the same. Did you hurt Sydney? Is that what she told you? Did she persuade you that he needed to die? To protect her? I'm saying nothing. I want my lawyer. Hey, boss. He's lawyered up and admitting nothing. It's tough to get a conviction from what we have so far.
We have a murder weapon, really?
Yeah, the gun's a double-edged sword, kind of. Belonged to Felix Hansen, was never reported stolen. And recovered it in Hansen's house.
From Brandon.
From the floor, we never saw Brandon's possession. And there's no recovery.
Felipe, have you heard any new slang, bro? I wanna know.
Together in the same place.
So without an actual confession from Brandon, we're stuck. Or a confession from Sydney. There's no way that Brandon did this without her say-so, right?
That, my dear, is an excellent question.
You know, but you haven't watched it yet. You gotta watch it, man. It's the best show of all time. Of all time, bro.
If you do too.
In history.
Yeah. My boyfriend shot my dad, and then my stepmom shot my boyfriend. My life was like a sick joke.
So tell me, Sydney, Brandon would kill your dad unless you wanted him to. Unless you asked him to.
I didn't ask him to do anything.
You look at me and say that.
I didn't ask him to do anything. I loved my father. I did.
Maybe someone else made him do it.
Who?
You tell me.
How's my legs? They're getting better. It's just a slow process, but they're getting better. Slowly. I got a doctor's appointment on Monday, so I'll see what he says.
What are you thinking?
I'm thinking Felicia and Sydney should go back to work.
Oh, really? Why so?
Great man once said all the world's a stage, and all the men and women are the players.
Oh, really?
Really? Ladies, good morning. How are you? I'm okay. Listen, I was thinking before we roll, why don't we just run through the whole thing from the top to the bottom? Okay? Don't worry about being on page too much. Just use your instincts, and let's see what happens, okay? All right. Shoot. Okay. Let's see how this goes. And action.
Daisy, where are you?
I'm right here, Mom.
Look at you. You look good.
Thanks. What were you calling me about?
I just wanted to make sure you were on your way.
Why is it so important I be here?
I did a naughty thing. I called Rowan. He's on his way, and I pretended to be you.
No, you didn't.
Oh, yes, I did. I'm sorry, buddy.
Why would you do that? Why play games? You've already seduced him away from me.
I did not. How would you say that?
Stop acting. It's over. I know what you did. I know who you are. You've always hated me. You seduced
In
me.
Colombia,
into
they
being
celebrate
mine,
Easter.
and you made him kill my
Yeah.
father.
Right now, I don't know what you guys call it, but it's La Semana Santa. It's like, it's this whole week is Saints Week. I don't even know how to say it in English.
Oh, it's
Oh, Semana Santa in Portuguese too?
Your wood is high pitched. Believe it, Felicia. Believe it, and then we will. Okay, let's try one more from, this is ridiculous.
I'm sorry, I don't understand.
It's easy to understand. You told Brandon that Felix was abusing you. You persuaded Brandon to kill Felix. When you feared he'd confess to the police, you lured him to the house, planning to kill him as well. And now Sydney sees the truth. She knows that you're a conniving murderous bitch. It's way too melodramatic. Your whole world is falling apart. You're done unless you can convince us that you are telling the truth now.
My work is always truth.
It is a little
So does that mean you're not working right now, or do you have to work this week still?
It's a terrible thing to say.
Tell us the truth, Felicia. Make it real. You can do it.
Tomorrow you don't work Friday, but you worked all Monday through Thursday this week.
What was that? Speak up.
Sorry.
For what?
I do not know how to say that. Cause the way I feel like I should read it, I feel like it'll be wrong.
He changed his mind over script issues, he said. He didn't want me out there being successful, having other men look
Oh,
at
I
me
bet
and
you.
it made him feel insecure.
Let me see.
I gave up
Monday,
my life
Tuesday,
to be
Wednesday,
with him.
Thursday. No,
This is my life, and
Sunday,
you wouldn't let
Monday,
me have it.
Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Is that how you say Friday in Portuguese?
It was a form of abuse.
Wow. Wait. So how do you say Monday through Friday? You could type it out. I probably won't pronounce it right, but I'm guessing you just do it by the. You guys do it by numbers instead of days, because if sexta is Friday, which I'm guessing is not pronounced sexta, but if that's Friday, then I'll imagine
He forced himself on me.
it has to be something like. Oh, the whole thing is the day. Segunda-feira? How you? I don't know how to say that. Edwin, what's up, bro? How you doing, man? I'm chilling. Segunda-feira. And does it just keep going? Is it like tercera, or is it a different word? So yours is just 1 day, 2 day, 3 day, 4 day.
He did love that daughter of his. I'll give him that.
Edwin, you speak Portuguese? What the fuck, bro?
Accepted me for who I am. Respected my needs. This would never have happened.
Better beasts.
Too bad I don't know how to pronounce that. How do I pronounce Tuesday?
Tell Sydney that I'm sorry. I see now in reflection. I wasn't the stepmother I might have been. I'm sorry for that.
I could have guessed Wednesday. I would have got that one.
I did try.
Let me think. What's 5? Quinta.
I hope and pray that she doesn't become bitter.
Ah, I knew it.
It's happiness.
Okay, so that's pronounced like S.
It's happiness.
So it's terza. It's too much, man. It's too much.
What even was it?
It's true.
But it has to be different though, because why would that exist if there's already an S in the language, there has to be something that's different about it, right? Or no? So you guys just chose one day to not give a number and you just call it sábado. That's very interesting. Oh, 2 days, my bad. So your weekends are in Spanish. Your weekends are in Spanish, and then the rest of your weekdays are in Portuguese. S sometimes pronounced like Z, but whatever that letter is called is always an S. Oh, okay, that makes sense actually. Like how in Brazil is Brasil, and it's not. I get what you're saying. Okay, fair. Damn, Edwin, you know Portuguese too, bro. See, now I really gotta learn, bro. I gotta step it up, man. This is crazy.
$10 says you don't get this one.
How much Portuguese do you know, bro?
Cover your eyes. Don't cheat.
I feel like you must know a lot.
Clear? Can't wait to be. It's a gift certificate for spa treatment.
Correct again.
There you go, $10. Okay, 2 for 2. Come on.
Sweet, thank you. Okay, what is it?
It's mid to high-end bottle of wine.
De onde você é?
Yes.
How do I say he is from?
Very good. Yeah, it's a really good bottle. I'll drink it. Let's have some cake.
Okay. What about your gift?
It's on its way.
Bum, 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 bum.
It's on its way.
You're from Colombia?
Well, because I didn't buy it.
What?
Who else we gonna call?
A couple of hikers found it this morning.
Why did I think you were from somewhere else, bro?
Gunshot to the forehead. There's no ID. This is all we found.
Tube and, I don't know. Religious.
For good luck trimming?
Wait, why does it change? Why is it O or A? Oh, is it based on if the country's feminine or masculine?
It was a big
That's crazy.
Yeah, a lot of
That's too much.
Smell the mountains.
The river rises supposed to
My neighbor.
Brought down your
Basically.
Okay.
But he's in the United States now, I'm pretty sure.
Video games.
I swear he told me that.
And this is a Peruvian finger cup. You can
Right,
buy it
Evelyn?
cheap
Aren't you in the States, bro?
My man looks a little old to be hanging out in a video game arcade, unless he's into kids.
And is that DA pronounced with an actual D, like da, or
In the
no?
arcade, we find the information.
L
It's
E
next to
da.
the town of River. It's here to visit.
Colombia.
Okay. It's a theory. We're done. It's all yours.
Do I detect a slight residue of frumpiness
I need
here?
to take some Portuguese classes now.
I swear to you, Elizabeth, your gift is on its way.
I'm not grumpy, and I don't give a damn about your supposed gift.
She's still grumpy with me, isn't she? No touching that.
Felipe, you're always too busy, bro.
It's the only
I was
arcade.
kind of busy with work. Super busy.
Gasoline, cheese, mesquite. It's wonderful. This is the place.
Let's see.
You got $1? I'll give her right back.
I'll schedule time every day for us to practice. I think it'll work.
He's been working for me
Okay,
about 2
we could do
years.
that. Could do
What
that.
happened?
Somebody killed him. Can you think of why that would happen?
No, he kept to himself mostly. No trouble at all. An honest, reliable, married man type guy.
I see.
Don't recall Carol, something like that.
And what was his position here exactly?
Shift manager. He ran the till, kept the kids in line. He was good at that. It's a responsible position.
Any when he go missing lately?
No, when I keep tabs, trust me.
Why should we trust you?
It's just a phrase, like you know.
What do I know?
No, you don't know anything. I'm saying it's just a thing to say.
Oh, it's a figure of speech. So we shouldn't trust you, really.
Yeah. No, you should.
When was the last time you saw Dietrichson?
Friday night when he left work.
Felipe, you haven't told me any slang, bro.
I called his home.
You haven't brought me any slang in a long time, man.
His wife was there.
I feel like you haven't been encountering any new slang.
Doesn't know when he'll be back.
An emergency?
That's all she said.
How's her tone? Is she calm or is she upset?
Upset, I guess.
We'll need the home address.
Sure thing.
Yeah.
Right.
I wouldn't mind.
Kind of hard to trust the guy.
Yeah. You ain't meant to be staying here. Talk to the kids Dietrichson left in line. See if they have the same take on the
Dun 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 dun.
Teenagers. I ain't questioning teenagers like talking to mud. We need some love in here. Oh, is that my problem? Yeah, it is. Stay close. Right. Not bad at all. You want to see how it's supposed to be done? Are you sex perverts or cops? See what I mean? Well, he's a cop. I'm just a concerned citizen. We got nothing to say.
Yeah. Screw the cops.
Even for a midget villain like yourself, that's an untenable kind of position. Every modern society has its own kind of police force. It's like saying screw the public transport system. Thank you.
What does that's cap mean? That's cap means that's a lie. So
County tax collectors list the owners of the
if you say you're from the United States, I'll say
no kids,
that's cap.
criminal records, much of anything.
You can also say
Well, they honestly
just cap by itself. You can say cap because cap's like the lie. So if you just say cap's like saying a lie, he's lying. So that's cap. He's capping. That would mean that you're lying. Cap. Sometimes people just put the cap emojis,
Watch. Does it make this
and then that's how you say that somebody's lying.
exactly as I tell you? Take over. You. Come with me. See.
Okay, Felipe, I'm gonna tell you something because I remember you told me that I can correct your English. So you have to say, what does whatever word, and then you put mean at the end. You can't say, what does mean? You can say, what does it mean? Or you can say, what does it mean if someone says blank? But if you say it like that, then you have to say, what does Riz mean? But to answer your question, Riz is, oh, this is a tough one. Riz is like,
Anything else you can tell us about?
I'm trying not to describe it with more slang, but Riz is basically
Slow Reggie gave the finger. You just
like when you
hear the bone cracking. Ouch.
are trying to win
It just looks
someone over. So if there's a girl and you're just like, hey, let's do this and this on Saturday, and I can do this for you and this for you. Someone will say he's risen her up or something like that. It came from the word charisma, and then it just became like a slang. But basically, it's spitting game. But I didn't want to say spitting game because I'm like, what if you don't know what spitting game means? But it's basically trying to get with another person. For example, if you were in another country and somebody really liked your accent, somebody could say, oh, that's Portuguese Riz right there. Or that's Brazilian Riz, depending on what they want to say. That one's hard to describe, though. That one you kind of have to just get it in context. But yes, that way is correct, Felipe. What does Riz mean? So anytime you ask something, it always basically has to be in that form. What does blank mean?
Mrs. Diedrichson? Get the hell out of my house right now, you murdering scum! I swear to God, I'll blow you away. Mrs. Diedrichson? I'm gonna show you my badge. You better get out of here. Mrs. Diedrichson? We're with the California Bureau of Investigation. Put the gun down. California Bureau of my ass. You get the hell out of here. I will shoot you. This is my cell phone. I'm gonna dial 911 and we'll get uniformed policemen here and they will sort everything out. In the meantime, we'll all relax. Screw you! I'm gonna count to 10 and then I'm gonna start shooting.
LeBron has an insane Riz. Was it when he had two women next to him and like they were like laying their head on him and stuff like that?
I think Diedrich used to work for the mob and went into witness protection. That's why he's out here. Don't move! Drop your weapons! Get down on the ground! Put your hands on your hips!
That video is funny. He said Happy International Women's Day to them. Somebody might say that's Riz, somebody might not. But yeah, that's a good example. Slang is really weird. A lot of times slang doesn't make sense unless you just get a feel for it firsthand. Yeah, charisma. But it has to be in the sense of like flirting though. You can't like like 'cause the real word charisma, you could use it for a lot of stuff. Like, oh yeah, this guy has lots of charisma, blah blah blah. But for Riz, it's like a little kid word. It's like a teenage word for like flirting and trying to get with somebody. So you can't say like you can't use it as shorthand for charisma. You can't say that, oh yeah, my teacher has lots of Riz, because it's gonna sound like your teacher was like flirting with the kids or something like that. So it has a very romantic connotation, basically. But as an adult, you're not really gonna say that. How old are you again, Felipe? Like 25, right? You tell me you're 25, maybe? That's like a word that like 17-year-olds use. 16-year-olds. There's probably some slang. You're 36? I don't know why I thought you were younger than that. Oh, well then, yeah, you're definitely not gonna say that shit, bro. I'm sure there's probably words like that in Brazil that you know what it means, but you're probably like, oh, I'm too old to say that word. Like, that's for kids. Probably all the slang you hear on the internet is like that. It's all just like TikTok generation. And they just say words that we don't say. And I think my phone has been spying on me because ever since we sent those messages in Portuguese, my TikTok has been having Portuguese pop up on it. I have like 1 out of 10 TikToks will be in Portuguese. What was the last Portuguese TikTok I saw? It was like a Portuguese lesson about, what did it say? I'll send it to you when I get off. But it was this guy who learned Portuguese, but his accent was really, really good. And he was talking about all the different rules and how Americans say all the soccer players' names wrong. Like everyone in the world except people that speak Portuguese says Ronaldo, of course. And he was like, that's not how you say it. If it's an R, then you say it like an H. So that was something. But yeah, I've been having Portuguese TikToks now, man. Might be a sign. A sign to take it more seriously, like I say every month. Oh, you know what, Felipe? You can tell me what something means. Okay. So one time, somebody thought that I spoke Portuguese on Twitter, right? Because this is really hard to explain. But in Spanish, you can say acho. If you, like, really only Puerto Ricans do this, but you can say acho. Like instead of muchacho, it's like acho. And it's kind of like a, I don't even know how to explain what it is, but anyways, I typed acho on Twitter before my sentence. I said acho, blah blah blah. Somebody was like, "Do you speak Portuguese?" And I said, "No." And they said, "Oh, sometimes people that speak Portuguese say acho. What? Why do y'all say acho? Is it for the same reason or no? Does anybody actually say that, or was the person just confused?" Yeah, acho. Is that person just confused? That's where I looked at their profile and like, I feel like they were from, or at least their parents were from Brazil. So it wasn't just like a random person. What's up, Audrey's World? Acho means think? Oh, that's weird. Okay, what's the verb then? El acho. So what is the verb? Achar? Achar? I don't even know how to say it. Achar. Achar. You know, it's real funny. You got a Lakers jersey? That's cool. In Puerto Rico, because of like some Portuguese influence, lots of the older people say R's like H's actually. You've never heard acho in Spanish because you're not Puerto Rican, dog. I just said it, only Puerto Ricans say it. It's literally a very, very Puerto Rican thing to start your sentence with acho. It's even just like an expression, just you can just say acho, man. Sometimes people say chacho, sometimes they don't, but acho is super, super Puerto Rican. But like I was just saying, same thing for the Portuguese influence on the western part of the island. Lots of people say R's like H's. Like it's like sometimes like if they get like super, especially if they get super angry. But even just regular speaking, sometimes they'll say, te van a jobar, te van a jobar, instead of saying robar. Audrey's World is 14. It's 9:50. That means it's time for you to go to bed, Audrey's World. Edwin, you left, bro. You didn't answer. Are you in the States or are you in Colombia?
Stand up. Ready? Ready, it's us. Whoa. Sweetheart, put the It's alright, we weren't scared. Our feelings, right? Come on down, Jenny. It's okay.
You're in Colombia.
Alright, so why are
Bro,
we
I'm so confused. I swear, I thought you told me one time you were in the States. I must have read the message wrong or something.
150 miles?
Okay, what part of Colombia are you in?
That's what happened. You didn't know he was missing and he was under your protection.
Plus, he was missing 3 days ago. He's been here before. We just figured he'd another trouble or something.
Audrey's World is in Australia. Oh, that makes sense.
Wow. What did I miss? Up until 2 years ago, Ed Dietrichson was Eddie Russo from Philadelphia. They ran numbers for the Battaglia family. And Loan Shark collections. And then he got caught with 10 kilos of cocaine. The feds flipped him. I actually testified against Dino Battaglia and his family. The old man didn't go down, but two of his sons got life. Russo and his wife lived down here under our supervision with this relocation.
So what do you think happened? Yeah. What went wrong?
Same old story, I guess. You know, these people that can't resist contacting somebody from back home from their own life. And that person tells somebody, and eventually somebody sells them out to Santino Battaglia. You know, it happens.
Kaden, what's up, bro?
Again, look, your old life is dead, it's gone, forget it.
Edwin.
So you people with this protection, right? So that means
Edwin, we're literally neighbors, bro. I didn't know that. I don't know where I don't know, bro. I don't know what I thought. We're literally like right next to each other. That's crazy.
consult. Okay.
Do I miss the USA? Not really.
Clients once a week.
Sometimes. I mean, sometimes like,
It was, what, the day
you know,
before he disappeared, right?
I might call my best friend or something, and he'll be like, "Man, I wish you were here because we could do this and this and this with boxing and blah blah blah." And I'm like, "Damn, that would be cool."
First time that he jumped the fence.
But overall, not really.
Oh, did you know that Eddie was dealing drugs?
Caden's in Detroit.
No. Yeah. Selling marijuana.
Detroit.
No, where did you get that?
The
The
D.
arcade where Eddie worked said he was fronting for a biker named.
Yeah, Audrey's World. I saw that. Did you live in Australia? That's scary. Australia's scary to me. Giselle, what's up?
To be clear on this, he didn't know about any criminal activities the victim might have been engaged in. Look, he was a made man among the so it's not like he's gonna turn around and join the church choir.
So you did know.
Period.
No, we didn't. Nor do we now, actually. You want to know something? This is starting to sound an awful lot like an interrogation. I appreciate it. Good report, sir. It's very nice to look at you.
Why? Because it's Australia. You guys got kangaroos. You got all kinds of spiders. You got all kinds of animals. You got dingoes.
Tell me what you like.
You got
Jim.
just
When did you last see
everything that I don't want to see.
You know,
I don't want to have to look over my shoulder, worried about being attacked by wildlife.
And that was the last time I heard from him.
No classes tonight. That's good.
I don't know. Business. I didn't ask.
You didn't ask me, you don't want to know.
Oh, I get it. He's a bad man, right? He must have been doing something wrong. He's out there raping and killing people. Must have deserved what he got. Is that it, huh? What's he gonna do wrong in this place? Vandalize a cactus?
You don't like it here?
You know what the worst part is? The food. They got no good red sauce, no sausage, and they put pineapple on their pizza.
Ew, pineapple on pizza.
Do you
Gross.
have an idea who might have done this? Who do you think?
You have nowhere to go outside
Sonny
of
Battaglia.
isolation.
I would never get my husband, and now they have.
Who, me or in Australia?
My husband did the right thing, didn't he? He did what his country asked him to do.
They don't attack you unless you attack them? I don't believe that.
They didn't take care of us.
They always say that until you're being attacked. And then they're like, oh, well, that usually doesn't happen.
Previous life.
No.
I don't trust it.
The idiots? No.
Who do you talk to?
Yeah, right. Who? I talked to no one. The wind. So how the Battaglias have found out where you were located? It was the marshals, of course. Somebody paid one of those wit-sex sons of bitches to rat us out.
Gina, look at me. Whoever did this, we will catch them. I promise.
Remember how you were talking about personality types several lives ago? Like the personality surveys?
Which line?
Maybe. You have to remind me more than that. What about it?
That's pineapple.
Koalas won't attack. No, they won't. But koalas are disgusting. Most koalas are infected with chlamydia. It's actually messing up their population.
Do we know who he rides with?
Kids did say something about it being the exes.
I know a guy in San Bernardino has a CI with them. We'll find Tiny, no problem.
I'm interested to see what Rolando says about personality test. Edwin, how you say koala in Spanish, bro?
Love you, Tiny. Who's that?
We're with the California Bureau of Investigation.
Oh, it's the same. We were talking about how it always comes out as logician for both of us. Oh man, that was actually several lives ago. But yeah, mine's always INTPA, like every single time.
Who's that, Dietrich? You were in business with it. Dealing marijuana? Or what?
I live in the country and have lots of animals and farms. Yeah, I'm good on that. Not Australian animals. Any other animals are cool. I don't trust Australian animals, man.
Not by me.
They got crazy bats and all kinds of stuff.
They like rats.
Just don't trust it. No way, man.
A couple of weeks back, Eddie and me were in his car doing business.
Rest in peace to Steve Irwin.
Last year, rest in peace.
How reliable do you think those tests are in terms of what, bro? Reliable to who and for what?
Eddie's gone.
They don't mean anything.
He's not even on the docket anymore.
They're just something to do.
So what does that tell you?
Like, what is it gonna do for your life? You know what I mean?
Snitch. And he's so well connected. He don't mind. And I know that's what he is. Dirty, low down scum. That don't mean I killed him.
You love snakes? Yeah, that's crazy. You lost me. You lost me. I can't trust anybody that loves snakes.
What about the records for the vehicle Tiny was posted in?
No vehicle. He was stopped on the street, walking around 10 pounds of marijuana. That's what the Sierra Vista PD chief says.
What do you sound like when he said it?
Like he was covering some of his business. So we need to speak to those marshals again.
Do-do-do-do-do.
I'm gonna make that call. Any word on Sonny Battaglia? After his two sons went to prison, Sonny Battaglia retired. Left the family business to his number two, Joseph Angelini. So Angelini would only want to send Eddie Russo his best wishes. It's Battaglia would want him dead. He's out of the business, pushing 70. Plays a lot of golf in Palm Desert. Some people say he's not really retired. They're just playing it that way to keep his hands clean.
Palm Desert right here in California?
No.
Palm Desert's not in California?
No, you can't speak golf and try and talk to Sonny Battaglia.
Oh, I thought you meant Palm Desert wasn't in California. It is in California.
In order to describe what vocation a person might be at for. I don't know if I could say it's reliable for that, bro, because
Patrick Jane.
it still matters what you like to do. It doesn't actually matter if you're good at something or if you would be suited for something or suitable for something if you don't like it.
Good.
I feel like I was a great analyst. I still am a great analyst, but I didn't like it. So, kind of doesn't matter.
Shoot him. In the criminal justice system, sexually based offenses.
Want to do a Q&A?
They raped me.
I feel like this whole live stream is a Q&A. So, surely you must have something else in mind. As long as the question isn't inappropriate, sure, I'll answer it.
I can protect him.
Max trae para ti una dulce experiencia que activará tus sentidos, encenderá tu alegría y despertará tu imaginación para llevarte de lo cotidiano a lo extraordinario. De Willy a Wonka.
Willy Wonka.
Y del cine a Max. Max, mucho más que ver. La tecnología que no se entiende no funciona. Pero, ¿qué es la
Wow, it says 8 people are up in here. I just be wondering
millones de algoritmos binarios que activan modos
what
de
y'all do.
tomando un punto B y establecer
How's it entertaining to listen and never talk?
qué bueno verte. Te acerca lo que quieres. Cuando la tecnología está a tu lado, tú estás por encima de todo. Digital, ser humano.
Who's my favorite YouTuber? Chente. It's a guy from Puerto Rico named Chente Hidrach. Chente Hidrach.
Superheroínas, luchadores, demonios y hasta fieras salvajes. En Space todos adoramos la acción.
I need some cooler questions.
Santísima adrenalina. Space.
How old am I? 31. I turned 32 in 2 weeks.
Where do we start?
Yo no ves más allá de tus ojos. Y el amor descansa en tu corazón. What's my favorite song? Ooh, let me think on this one. That's tough to only pick one.
Regreso pronto, bebé.
Fue la mujer más afortunada. Sé que estás molesta. Nunca te voy a perdonar, madre. Por tu culpa él murió.
If I had to pick a favorite of all time,
Transformar el dolor en fuerza es la única forma.
probably When I See You by Fantasia.
Fuerza de mujer.
But that's tough though. That's really tough.
Somos dueños del castillo.
Este castillo lleva años vacío.
Es parte de un
There's so many songs that I love that I could. I'll have to do like a top 10 basically. When's my birthday? My birthday is April 16th. And how am I gonna celebrate? I don't really know. I'm not sure yet. I got a doctor's appointment on the 1st, and he's gonna tell me like what's next in terms of my injured legs. So depending on what he says, I don't know. We kind of wanted to go up to El Eje Cafetero and take some cool pictures and shit. So we'll see. We'll see. Here's this Riptide. I don't think I've ever heard that.
Until now. You know what consistency is?
The hobgoblin of little minds.
Right. Emma's. Okay, reason number 2.
I can significantly improve your vocab.
You and 100 other buckalos. Reason number 3.
I know where to find Eddie Russo.
Russo singing Santa Lucia.
Perfect. Could you hand me one of those sticks and we'll get started?
Sticks?
Not the fat one. Get the other kind. Okay, well, it's a little fat.
I was watching Dahmer in Spanish. Why? This is generic Spanish, but I noticed they were going for Mexican grammar. And I stopped watching because it got pretty disturbing.
You remember Agent Cho?
What do you mean you noticed they were going for Mexican grammar? Sounds good, but I thought you weren't able to extend your legs. No, I can extend them. I can't. So, okay. So right now, like let's pretend these are my legs. You know, normal legs can do this, right? If you're pretty flexible, you can do this. So right after the surgery, I couldn't do more than this. And every week through rehab, I go a little bit further. Right now, they can get to about here. The main thing is, I just can't walk well. Because when you walk, you have to, you know, when you walk, it's like this, and it takes strength and whatever, and I haven't been doing that. So I use a walker, but I can, my legs, they're straight right now. I can extend them. I just can't flex them all the way. They employed deleísmo. In what sentence? There had to be something that caught your attention where you were like, oh. I feel like deleísmo is very Spanish, not Mexican. Maybe I'm mistaken, but I feel like it's their thing.
Should one of us head down to Palm Desert just in case?
He made his bed.
Santa Lucia. Santa Lucia. Santa Lucia. Shots of myself in the shot up. Santa Lucia.
Santa Lucia.
All the hours I spent on this course, huh? The thousands I wasted on videotapes and coaching. And Blondie here, he does it with singing. How do you like that, huh?
I'm just polishing the talent that was already there.
Yeah. So, now tell me, my strange new friend, where's Eddie Russo?
You didn't know?
Know what?
Eddie Russo's dead.
No kidding.
Killed a couple of days ago. He's in the state morgue in Sacramento under the name of Ed Didrikson.
Who did it?
You don't know? Interesting.
Bro, is that like an alternate account for you, or is this person just copying you?
Today is a good day.
I can't remember the exact sentence. That ginger Spaniard YouTuber said that deleísmo is a Mexican feature. She said she uses it to identify Mexican Spanish. Oh, that makes sense. Well, she's a Spaniard, so if she says it, I believe it.
This guy, is he? It's a clean line you can talk.
Thank you. So if you didn't do it...
Nah, you want to know... Oh, that's not you? That's really weird, then. Why did that person just copy exactly what you said?
Is that right?
Compulsive. Tell me, how was
Tarot Destroyer, why did you do that? Rolando, you know what I noticed sometimes that Mexicans do? This is not just Mexicans, but I think I've just... The Mexicans that I've heard do it are the ones that stuck in my mind. They say... I don't even know how to explain this, because it's going to be so hard for me to think of like the really wrong way. And I stopped watching because I'm about to block this person.
Hey, screw you, Blondie. You're lucky you helped me.
Alright, for example... Nah, okay, I gotta block this person. Like, that's too annoying. I'll just put them in timeout.
Sonny Battalion?
I'll put them in timeout for 10 minutes.
What'd you like?
For example,
You didn't kill Russo. And golf is oddly very easy.
You sure of this?
I gotta try to think of the wrong way so that I can tell you what they do.
At least I think it's hard to say with a sociopath. That doesn't mean that some other mafioso...
Alright, fuck it. Let me just tell you the right way, and then I'll eventually think of the wrong way to say it. How did they comment if I put them in timeout? Is this a different account, or am I the only one that can see this? Okay, I'm gonna.
Zipper's car was still parked outside the House of Games. That means somebody must have picked him up. Maybe the arcade security cameras have a picture of who it was. Why don't you take
What the? That was crazy.
Yeah, you guys go find out. On the couch.
That was super crazy. Okay,
We need to look at your
so for
security tapes.
example,
Tapes, I know tapes.
se lo doy, right?
Of course. But all that little
I've
red light
noticed.
works, that's all you need.
No, sorry, I need to say it differently.
Nothing happened here. We wanna
Oh, okay, no, that's right. But the wrong way that they say it.
I saw her in the parking lot.
What the? How does the account keep popping up?
Sure. I mean, I assume it was her. She's picked him up a couple times before.
Brunette, slim, maybe 5'4".
I don't understand.
About 5'10".
Are y'all seeing this Tarot Destroyer account, or is it just me?
Boss, we're gonna need to speak to our
Because I keep blocking them and then I get another message. I don't understand how that's possible. Maybe it's just a really bored person creating more accounts, but that's really weird.
I want some answers right now. Elizabeth, I'm gonna make sure you regret that you ever spoke to me. I'm not a cop.
Hello, Marshall Exley.
Just got a call from my supervisor telling me that you put in an official request to question Marshall.
Alright, now let me go back. What was I trying to think of?
Case? It's all over the department. Why are you trying to ruin her?
Did you know she was with Russo on Friday night? Night he vanished?
So you're saying that she fingered him?
I can't.
She set him up?
Oh, what the?
So it looks like-
Rolando, tell me you can see this account, bro.
I would have known. Just saying.
Why is this account copying everything that you say?
If she wasn't straight.
We confirmed with the Sierra Vista PD. The night that Russo got arrested, Knox came in and had them drop
This
the
is
charges.
insane.
As if she was doing it on behalf of the Marshal Service.
Rolando, you're not commenting anymore, so that makes me wonder, can you see this? Can you hear me? Oh, they're copying Edwin too.
There's some explanation.
Then why can't we find her and hear her say that?
Oh, this is crazy.
Do you know where she is now?
No.
How does the account keep popping up? That's what I'm confused about. I'm literally blocking multiple times. Anyways, all right, I'm gonna actually get this out this time. The sentence "se lo doy," right?
Hello?
Sometimes Mexicans will say they'll flip it. So if it was le that they were thinking of in their head when they turn it into se, they'll just put it in the reverse order. I'm sure you know what I'm saying. I can't even think of the wrong way to say it, bro. But I've heard them do it, and I'm just like, wait a second, that doesn't make sense.
Riley told me he was a psychic.
Jason's been reading people, among other things.
And bothering his colleagues. Have you ever seen
Robin in prison. What the? What? You just see people on YouTube and think they're in prison. What does that even mean, bro?
Patrick Jane special?
Never been to prison in my life. Don't plan on going. Oh my god, how do I get rid of this account, bro?
Y mucho más de todo lo que te gusta. Chocolate. Mucho más que ver.
I feel like reporting this account is making it pop up more.
Mucho más que ver la preocupación por el
What did I do to deserve this?
Tenemos todo lo que buscas. Are you sure?
In Germany, many streamers in prison?
Mucho más que ver.
Not me. You'll never see me in prison. You see me in prison? Man, somebody must have done something really bad to make me go to prison. That's not in my life plans, man.
Esa hidratación para tu piel en una sola pasada con el agua micelar bifásica de Nivea. Remueve el maquillaje a prueba de agua, manteniendo tu piel hidratada. Su tecnología micelar con agua de rosas orgánica no deja residuos y no irrita tu piel. Descubre el agua micelar bifásica de Nivea Rose Care. Eficacia y suavidad para tu piel. Conoce la línea completa de Nivea.
Robin, are you from Germany?
De la ciencia y la naturaleza.
Max tiene mucho más que ver contigo. Muchas más historias que reflejan tu vida. Wow, hasta me dieron ganas de remodelar. Mucho más amor que no conoce fronteras. Muchos más momentos inolvidables. Mucha más diversión para la alegría de casa. ¡Ey! ¡Dije alegría!
Yes, you are from Germany. I don't really remember. I used to live in Germany. I don't remember anything except Guten Tag, Auf Wiedersehen. What else? Guten Nacht. And I know how to count still. That's it. What are my plans? My plan is to take over the world. No, my plan is to be a good person. That's it. Continue to be a good person and help other people to become good people too. That's it. Oh, good night. Oh, I remember Danke schön, bitte schön. I had to estimate until what month will you be in Cali. May for sure. I'm not sure after that. Not 100% sure.
No, that's all right.
I respect your distress. She's your partner. But please understand the situation here.
Could be difficult to rule the world and be a good person. Yeah, it's not really possible.
I understand. You got a job to do. Oh, here's a thought. What if you did?
Nah, that's not actually what I meant, Rolando. It's really hard for me to think of an example because it's just so incorrect that it's hard to think of. But like I said, if you just think about it like this, right? As I'm sure you know, you can't say le lo, right? Or le la, so you change it to se. But what I'm saying is sometimes native speakers in Mexico, like I said, that's just the ones that I remember. They swap the two places around. So, you know, that's what, like, if it was supposed to be se and lo, they would make the lo los because they're thinking of multiple people, but that's the wrong way to do it. You get what I'm saying? Am I Mexican? No, I'm not Mexican. Youngest mayor in Ecuador's history was killed last night? I didn't see that. Wow. But that doesn't surprise me. Giselle's doing this. Ecuador was cool. I told you, Ecuador is crazy, bro. You ain't gonna see me in Ecuador.
Do you think you do?
Well, there was the fair at the end of May, like you said.
Yeah.
And he didn't respond well before.
Nobody does. When someone answers, can you say he's married?
Oh, she was a woman. That makes a lot of sense, actually. You know, femicide is crazy. I've seen a lot of videos in Ecuador, and no, actually, they're always Ecuador. Like, dudes will literally just be at the gas station on a motorcycle and just take a gun out and just shoot a woman in the face, bro, and drive off. And I just be like, why? Like,
Do you have
do I have Bitcoin? No. I had Bitcoin a long time ago. I sold it. I made a lot of money. It was cool. I don't really want to do it again.
What is it? What is that? It's just a little prayer. Where's your swing gear? In the locker. Alright, let's go.
Jane.
Mexico City train system has separate sections for men and women. I guess it's like that in Japan too, man. Japan has women-only trains because I can't think of the word, but there's literally a word for how perverted men are over there. They got a serious pervert problem in Japan. How do I earn money? I'm a trainer. I make my money online. People like you message me and say, hey bro, I want to get stronger, and I say, okay, this is what I'll do for you, and I make them a plan and they pay me, and that's how I make my money. That's insane. Yeah, that's insane, bro. Yeah, I mean, generally just all over the world, men are pretty crazy. So, yo, I don't know if y'all saw, in New York City, there's a dude going around right now literally just socking women in the face, bro. I literally, on TikTok, there was a point where I scrolled 4 different videos, and back to back, it was a girl with black eyes, knot on her face, whatever, like, So I just saw the video of the girl getting punched in the face in New York City, and then I got punched while I was watching the video. Like, dude, you just scroll. It's a dude just going around just pow, just punching women out in New York City, bro. And they actually caught him. And he was a dude that had ran for mayor. He was a black guy that was just walking up to girls and be like, "Hey, you shouldn't be looking down at your phone," and just punching them, bro. Insane. Very crazy.
Do you have an apron? I can't imagine being stuck out here in the desert alone with the coyotes and tumbleweeds and bad red sauce.
Yeah.
We in Germany used to those things. Robin, while you're here, explain something to me. When I used to live in Germany, people would just stare at me, bro. Not because I was black. It's just a very German thing to stare at people. Why do you guys stare so hard?
Yeah. Okay, got it.
Yeah, I saw that. I saw that video. I actually literally saw the video of it. Twitter's just depraved, bro. New York deployed their National Guard on the subway.
Oh, that was good.
Mike, Germany's cool, bro.
Solid.
Germany's cool. It's very different, but it's cool. You know, the funny thing a lot of Germans do is they'll say, "Sorry, I don't speak English," but they speak like amazing English. I guess they have a very high standard for themselves when it comes to English or something.
Romantic.
Can you send me the video later if you can find it? Yeah, I got you, bro.
No.
If I can find it. Sometimes like those videos exist for like 2 days and then they get scrubbed.
Famous for it.
No, maybe not.
But I'll look for it.
Change.
Shit's crazy, man.
You believe that people can change it?
Sure. People can change.
Eddie couldn't change. I used to be somebody. Now he's gonna be nobody. Now, even after he dragged you all the way out here to the middle of nowhere, there's still some nights he doesn't come home. Just like before. Before you can move on, Gina, you gotta make things right now. Tell me the truth.
I'm not saying nothing.
You found out he was cheating, you snapped and you shot him.
You can say whatever you like. It means nothing. You have to prove it.
Where'd you do it? What happened to the gun that you gave?
I'm just stoned, very bored, and thought you could be funny. Or thought it could be funny to see what happened. Sorry for my bad English. No, I didn't say you had bad English. Your English is good. I said Germans
Arrows.
say that they can't speak English and they actually speak really good English. That used to happen to me all the time when I lived there. They say, "Sorry, I don't speak English." And I'll be like, "Well, can you just try to help me with this?" And I'll have a conversation with them and I'm like, "This guy speaks
Scumbag.
perfect English."
Didn't speak to
But
you.
I think Germans just have
Seems to think it was you that
um,
encouraged me to run.
pride and I don't know, pride in their English speaking and want it to be perfect or something. I don't know. But I think like all the Germans I've heard speak English spoke really good English.
Sweet deal.
Kind of a deal.
What kind of deal do you think?
You tell me.
You could either make me
What the fuck, Robin?
confess to
You turned a good conversation into whatever that was, bro. Are they all super tall? No, I don't think so. Not that I remember.
And cops never bend the law, do they?
Not that I remember.
Just to console.
But I mean, I'm not the tallest person, so everywhere I go, I'm like, yeah, everybody's tall.
You better make up your mind. The funniest man is on his way.
I don't believe you.
Well, I'll call Sonny and have him tell you himself.
You start talk after I tipped. I don't even know what that means.
Don't you?
Had some of my students ask about the N-word yesterday.
Yeah, it's me again.
A little awkward. Yeah, bro, that's a little weird.
Listen.
I was my therapist today was asking like was the N-word okay to say? But she didn't even know. Like she was basically saying like, could you say mi negro or mi negrito in English, right? And I was like, yeah, no, not really. There's no way to really say it.
You can't do this.
They also asked for Bumble Guy, man. They have some classes with some kids that came from Jamaica. That's actually hilarious. Mike, okay, actually remind me to send you this, Mike. It's I can't remember what country the dude's from, but he has a Jamaican friend, and she meets him at the airport, and she's like, "I got you a shirt with your favorite word," and she's like, "Turn the shirt around so the camera can see it." And it literally says Bumba Club on it, bro. And he says it, and I'm like, yo, like he really said it like hella proper, even though he doesn't like he only speaks Spanish. Europeans have high standards in terms of learning English. It's not like in this country where people think it's a success to just barely be able to introduce themselves. What is the N word? Neighbor. Yeah, you know, it's funny. I literally just watched a video before I got on live of this white dude in Shanghai. And he was making one of those videos like, oh, like white guy speaks Mandarin. So he walks up to these old ladies and they're just like, what are you here for? Like, are you trying to get a wife? And he's just like, potentially. And they're like, are you trying to stay here or go back to the States? And he's like, oh, maybe go back to the States. And they're just like, why would a girl here want to do that? We're rich here. They're like, everyone in Shanghai is very, very rich. And they are. They have lots of money. And they're like, most women here have properties. Their family have properties. So you need to give them a reason to go to the States. And they were like, do you have money? Do you have properties? And he was like, well, not right now. And they were like, well, that's not good. They said in Shanghai, we don't talk about marriage if you don't have money. So then they said, do you have any skills at least? And he was like, I speak Mandarin. And literally they just busted out laughing. They're like, speaking Mandarin is a skill since when? And I was like, damn, cooking his ass, bro. But that is like, Americans think like, oh, I learned a second language to a very basic level. Like I've got skills, bro. I'm super different. How do I get rid of this Tarot Destroyer account, bro? I just told them it was the word slave owners used to use. I don't get offended from it, but I recommend you not say it. Because the wrong person will beat you up or kill you, bro. That's facts. Most understood. One student said that's stupid. Yeah, life will teach her, bro. But you know, it's kind of hard to. Sorry, I'm trying to get rid of this other account on here. She almost got into a fight saying it earlier this year. Yeah, it's kind of hard to make someone else feel your pain. Some things need to be learned through experience. Some things just can't be described. Like I said, when I was telling my therapist earlier about, she was asking, how do I say mi negrito in English? I was like, you can't. And she was like, oh, she was like, you guys, I thought you guys had like a word that you called each other. And I'm like, yeah, that's a different word. And I'm like, you definitely can't say that shit. And she's like, oh, I thought it was like a good thing. I'm like, too complicated. Not about to explain this, but just don't go to the United States and say that, please. And it was just really tough for her to understand because that word literally means nothing to her, bro. And I was trying to tell her, I'm like, well, the difference is, like, at least negro in Spanish is actually a color. You know what I mean? The N word is not a color in English. So I was like, I have no way of explaining this besides just saying, like, yeah, I wouldn't say that if I were you. Share life, do what you want to do. Was that on a vid? That China stuff? Yeah, it was a TikTok, but I'm sure it came from a YouTube channel. But it was just people were clowning him and Austin Holloman. Ever since Mike brought up this Austin Holloman dude to me, I see him everywhere now, bro. So he was in Peru, and the waitress was being nice to him, and he was like, "This is how you get married," and I was just like, "Bruh, she literally said, you look like my brother." This was in English too. She said, you look like my brother. And she was like, you guys kind of have like this same thing. And they laughed, and he posted it and said, this is the energy that gets you married. And I'm like, what are you talking about, dog? She said you look like her brother and you're thinking about marriage? Like, what are you saying right now, bro? Robin says in Germany. The diddler. Yeah, Diddy, he messed up, dog. Did he do it? See, I haven't seen his better. I haven't seen his better videos. Most of the video titles have been goofy. Yeah, this clip he just posted it himself on Twitter, and Twitter does not like Passport Bros, so he was getting cooked. Of course, there's the Passport Bro defenders in his comments, but like the general consensus on Twitter is that Passport Bros are sex tourists and horrible people. So you post something like that on there, you're getting cooked. Anytime somebody says like, "Oh, get you a Mexican woman because they're gonna cook for you and they're not gonna ever complain," you getting cooked, dog. You getting cooked. You're gonna have an army of Mexican women in your mentions. Like, yeah, right. I just smacked the shit out of my husband 5 minutes ago.
That'd make perfect sense.
Plus, I've already been. Yeah, that makes sense. I kind of want to go one day, but I definitely need my legs to be better. I'm trying to do the whole Machu Picchu thing and all that shit. They say Diddy is super weird in private. He's super weird in public, dog. I need someone to like make a list of reference videos. I'm about to tell you about another video. There's a video where Diddy was dressed up as the Joker for Halloween, bro, and he almost got into a fight with this dude. And it just got so weird, dog. Like, they were about to fight, and then he's like, "Why we gotta fight? Why can't we love each other?" And the dude was just like, "The fuck?" And he was just like, "How about this? How about you come to my after party tonight?" And the dude's just like, "What?" And he's just like, "Alright, yeah." And he's like, "Yeah, yeah." He's like, let's just change that energy. Let's come to my after party and blah blah blah." And I was just like, bro, this is the weirdest video I've ever watched. Dog, they were like face to face, about to fight, and then they just turned like strange. Yeah, exactly. They told him not to ever do it again. They was like, "Yeah, doc, no, don't."
Tell us about your brother. Oh, you said
Oh damn, bro, you didn't see it? His houses in LA, Miami, and New York got raided. He's being accused of sex trafficking and a bunch of other stuff. Cassie also accused him of sex trafficking on top of the other one. And she said he does what are called freak offs, where he drugs people and forces them to have sex. It's the weirdest shit ever, bro. Like, I couldn't even begin to explain to you how weird it is. And so, you know, with the way that homophobia works, the gay jokes are bigger than the sex trafficking, which is like why he said they say no Diddy now. It's true. I've been posting it too, but like everything is just about how gay he is, basically. Because like the lawsuit says that like he forces these dudes to have sex and stuff like that, and Meek Mill and a bunch of other dudes. It's a lot, bro. Anyways, yeah, everyone's saying no Diddy instead of pause now. So if you see something and it says no Diddy, now you won't be confused.
your brother was recently divorced.
Do I think he's guilty? Hell yeah, I think he's guilty. I think he killed Tupac too. There's some things that you don't need proof for, or you don't need the justice system to say that it happened. When there's 100 stories against you, you're lying, bro. Like, I mean, I don't even think he's denied it, to be honest. I just think he hasn't gotten in trouble. But yeah, when 100 people say you do something, I'm just like, bro, you did it. Jalen, would you ever leave the country if the block was hot? If you're referencing Diddy fleeing the country like that, then no, I wouldn't do it unless I was guilty and I wanted to go to a country that didn't have extradition laws. If that's what you're referring to. Yes, Felipe, P. Diddy killed Tupac. If you didn't know. How he take out Tupac? Alright, this is all gonna come out in the next few years. But if you wanna go on Google right now, just go on Google and type Tupac paid, type P. Diddy paid $1 million to get Tupac killed. There's a guy that is arrested right now. He was literally arrested this year by the FBI, and he confessed that Diddy paid him $1 million to kill Tupac. But he's been saying it for 20 years. It's just that no one ever listened to him, or they just thought he was lying, or Diddy was too powerful. I don't know. It reminds me of this is another thing, and this is I know he's a sociopath, bro. Anyone that was alive when Diddy was with J-Lo and he shot somebody in the club. Yeah, QVD, exactly, bro. Diddy shot somebody in the club, bro. The woman that got shot in the face maintains to this day, bro, in 2024, that Diddy was the one that shot her. What happened? When the whole shooting happened and all of that, Shine, his artist at the time, took the fall for it and did 10 years. If you guys don't know who Shine is, right now he's the Prime Minister of Belize. Weird, right? It's not that weird because his dad was the Prime Minister of Belize. What's weird is that he was a gangster rapper when his dad was the Prime Minister of Belize. Anyways, Shine never rolled. He said, fuck it, I did it. So P. Diddy was good. He just did whatever he wanted. But all of that stuff happened like in a small time frame. Like, I just think he was super powerful and he was just getting crazy. He was taking people out, bro. Can't do that shit now. There's too many cameras and social media and stuff like that. Ain't that snitching?
He was the visionary.
Is what snitching?
We made a good team. He was
Is it snitching what Keefy D's doing? Yes, snitching, but clearly he does not care. Let me tell you something about snitching, dog.
Is that what got you into trouble with the SEC?
I don't know any big time criminal that has ever
This is all prepared to say on that subject at the moment.
gotten caught
Currently under
that
investigation
didn't
by the
snitch.
SEC.
Maybe you guys can name me somebody. But every gangster that gets caught snitches. Why do you have beef with Tupac for it? Bro, that's too deep. You gotta do your knowledge, do the knowledge, dog. You gotta go do your research, and you gotta look up the beef between Tupac and Biggie and West Coast, East Coast, all of that stuff. That's too much to explain. Didn't KBD say his nephew did it? I don't remember like that, bro. But you know what I'm getting at. He's confessing that Diddy is the one that fronted the money for X, Y, and Z to happen. I don't know the full story. I wasn't there.
Just after I transferred him from Boston 7 months ago now, an acquaintance of his was staying here.
But yeah, Rolando, that's what I'm saying. Like, when you get caught, you snitch and get out in 20 years, or you don't snitch and you never get out for the rest of your life.
Jim was kind.
Feds always want the bigger fish. If that's something you can take with you, bro. If you're not the biggest fish, you can probably walk free if you can give them info on the biggest fish. Probably no matter what you did, the feds will get you out of jail if you can take down the big fish.
Was here, finishing up some work.
Yeah, Mike, Shine, I just don't understand anything about him, bro. Like, that's like the prime example of,
Leads on the investigation so far.
like, not even nepotism, but just literally a kid that had something pretending that he had nothing. And maybe he never pretended. Maybe he's just a reckless dude. But, like, why are you living that lifestyle?
The same day your boyfriend is found.
Yeah. I think he still is Jewish. He be having a bald head and just the little curls that just. But just weird, bro.
Here, whether it looks good to you or not, is the only way I know
And I'm glad I don't wear snitching or that lifestyle as a badge on, man.
You alright?
Yeah, like I said, man, when it comes down to it, people always look out for themselves, bro.
Fever,
You know, Outpost snitched.
nausea, coughing.
All the Italian mobsters snitched. Just literally
I can write a prescription.
everybody snitches, bro. Like, because when it comes down to it, like I said, do you want, like, when your life's over, it's over, bro. Do you want to take the chance of one day being free, or do you want to go to jail for the rest of your life? Most people are gonna be like, yo, if I'm gonna get out in 2 years, I'm gonna take my chances on avoiding getting killed when I get out instead of spending the next 60 in jail, bro. I pay taxes. I don't fall under those rules. I'm a civilian. Exactly. Facts. Facts.
Go see a doctor.
What's she getting anyway?
I think I actually you just reminded me of something, Rolando. I watched the video. I don't know if you saw it. I know you guys are probably thinking like, yo, this dude watches like 18 murder videos a day. That's probably true. But yesterday I saw this video of this cop in Mexico, and the cartel had this cop, and you know they were forcing him to confess at gunpoint to something. I don't know. He was saying like, oh, like this guy did this guy definitely sold on their territory, don't do it again, blah blah blah. And bro, I was just like, they got him, they got one dude holding his hair, and they got the machete to his throat, about 10 other guys standing with AKs. And I'm like, man, the beheading's gonna start soon. But this motherfucking machete had no I can't think of the word. It had no sharpness, bro. This joint looked like a 40-year-old machete. Bro, he starts trying to go, and it just like, he's just like moving his head. He's just like, no, no. He was literally, this is not funny. It's just crazy that it actually worked. But he was just like, pégame un tiro, por favor. And the dude was just like, cállate. And he just keeps trying to go again. And he's like, jefe, pégame un tiro, por favor. And the dude just got like so annoyed that he threw the machete down and took a pistol out. I was like, and I was like, yo, it worked. And I was like, yo, if I ever get in that situation, I'm gonna just move as much as possible and beg to get shot. Because like, I just thought eventually someone else was gonna come and like kick him in the stomach and they were gonna do it. But dude really got annoyed and just shot him. So I was like, good for him. Good for him. I'm staying out of that country. Hey man, I feel you, honestly. I'm not gonna lie, that's a scary country, dog. I know Mexico has its places that are not that bad, but the constant threat of the cartel is just too much for me, bro. I just think it's crazy that like, oh my butt, they have so much power, bro. Where do I see these vids? On Elon Musk's app, Twitter, bro. You know what's crazy? At one point in time, you couldn't see shit on Twitter, bro. Like, you couldn't see anything. You couldn't say anything. Like, bro, I would say, like, shut up before I smack you, and I'll get banned, bro. Now, because Elon Musk did his little free speech thing, I don't know what the fuck. Bruh, you can post anything on Twitter now, bro. There's... If you guys don't have a weak stomach, type in the Russian lathe video. I think that's what it's called. The Russian lathe video. And that, like, bro, people post that video. It's a video where the dude, it's a rotating machine like this, and he's like, he tries to reach over the machine, and it pulls his arm into it, and it gets stuck for a second, and then it goes grrrr, and it rotates him, and his whole body just turns into nothing. Creepy stuff, yeah. Elon ruined that app because sex bots are at work. Yeah, bro, every time you tweet something, my pussy in bio, my pussy in bio. Bruh, get out of my fucking mentions, bro. Do you search murder vids? No. Bro, that's the worst part, dog. You will click on the Twitter app, and the first thing that pops up is just like someone falling off a building, bro. And you're just like, it's not how I want to start my morning, dog. Because the way Twitter works now is like, so you can do for you or you can do following, right? But I don't like doing following because I do want to see new stuff. I want to see news. I want to see sports. I just want to see like different accounts that I don't follow. Sometimes I want to see their thoughts and stuff. And so, yeah, because of that, someone that you don't follow will pop up on your shit with a murder video. Yeah, dog, it turned him into ground beef real fast too. Like it was so fast that like the dude that ran over to help him, like he literally just went like this and just walked away. Cause he was like, bro, imagine seeing that in real life, bro. His ear was on the wall. I don't even know how you knew that, but yeah, that video is crazy. How can you see that? Yeah, Giselle, it's pretty crazy. I'm not gonna lie, but like I said, it's kind of the norm on Twitter now. You can kind of know. It's not like sometimes you know because the page is called like Crazy Ways to Die, or it's called like Brutal Videos, something like that. Like the page title, you'll be like, I probably should scroll past this video. But sometimes you don't know. Sometimes it'll be a regular person, and it just says like, these two men in Texas were arguing over a woman. And so you're like, oh, they're probably gonna fight. And then the dude just take out a gun and shoot the dude. And you're just like, oh, damn. Like they should have put like some kind of warning on there, bro. Like I used to be one of those people that would be like, man, you don't need no damn trigger warning. That's some baby back bitch shit. Now I just be like, oh, you could put something on there, bro. You could be like, hey, a dude gets blown to smithereens in this video. Factually so. If I even see a video I don't want showing up, I click on don't recommend me. That works on YouTube. That shit really don't be working on TikTok or Twitter, to be honest. I watched it over and over. It's old. Yeah, it's super old. But I just brought that up to let you know the kind of stuff that flies on Twitter. You can post stuff like that. And it doesn't have like a censor on it. It literally just plays at the moment you scroll past it. Still, the worst video I probably ever seen was Mrs. Pac-Man in Guatemala. That's probably the worst video I ever watched. Because you know when you see violence happen to women, it elicits a different response. Versus, as sad as it is to say, like you see men get like beat to death or something, and you're just like, ah, damn. But like to see that happen to a woman, bro, that hurts. Mike, you want me to describe it to you, bro? Yeah, Facebook and IG has that see video safety thing. Yeah, that shit doesn't exist on Twitter. Well, like you can do it, but no one does it, so it might as well not exist. Mike, there's nothing I could tell you that would make you understand how horrible this video is. But for some reason, maybe because of infidelity or other reasons, a husband has decided to dismember his wife. And the human body is just incredible, bro, because some people pass out from a tattoo, but then there's this woman who's missing all of her limbs, and he has already, I don't remember what tool he used, like it's almost repressed, bro. I can't think of it. I don't know what he used, but her face is, like, if you think of like, you know, like cartoons or something where they just like keep punching the person's face. It's like her face doesn't exist anymore. Her eyes like hanging out, and she's gurgling because there's so much blood and she can't breathe. And it's just that sound is like a sound that you can never get out of your head, bro. Super, super disturbing. Yes, it's on video. He's like recording it. He's like out of his mind, and I don't remember what he said,
See who she was with the night of.
but yeah,
Keep an eye on her.
Interesting.
very, very crazy.
She did tell us that Graham wore a key around his neck.
Yeah,
but
it's
he
all
said
on
she was
video, bro.
joking.
It's all on
But
video.
there wasn't a key found on the body, was there?
I did say evil doesn't exist, but let me say it like this, bro.
Get into his locker in the men's changing room at the gym.
What if she had found
I don't believe that
Jesus
people are
and
in
then
as much control as they think they are.
Exactly.
That's a very weird statement to say, and I'm gonna have to defend it. But most of the stuff that happens to us are reactions. Like if you got a tumor on your amygdala right now, you wouldn't be able to control your emotions. So like how in control are you really of your life? Are you the person that you are because
Thank you.
you want to be that person or because you are that person? If that makes sense. And so it's not to say that what those people are doing isn't bad. I just think the word evil, it's just a heavy word, man. It's just a heavy, heavy word. To me, evil just, I don't know, it just kind of has like a connotation of like something spiritual. I'm not saying that they're not bad. If dude didn't have a tumor on his amygdala, what's his excuse? You really don't need a tumor on your amygdala. For example, Griselda Blanco, right? She first killed a person when she was, what, 9 years old? I just think some people got mental problems, bro. Whether it be poverty, genetics, a mix of those two, or whatever. I just think, like I said, a lot of us are not as in control as we think we are. Which is, no one wants to say that, because then it's like, you know what I mean? If I say I'm not in control, then what am I really doing? Did you know it's actually like, when I was in my university, we would do a lot of studies, like a lot of like neuroscience studies and stuff, and it's funny, like they would measure the time between a reaction and a thought, and the reaction would happen before the thought, even though the people thought that they were thinking before they reacted. So that's kind of where I'm going, but that's like a crazy rabbit hole that we probably couldn't, it wouldn't be fair to discuss it here because y'all can't reply as fast as I can reply, so.
Best friend and business partner.
It sounds like you don't fully buy into the concept of free will. Yeah, it's a tough one. It's a tough one. I just think, I think you have it to an extent. But first of all, I think some people are really stupid, bro. And I think like without intelligence, it's hard to be in control of what you're doing. Mention the book about that reaction thing. I would have to go look into it. You mentioned how P. Diddy is a sociopath. If so, his brain is simply wired differently. He processes thoughts and emotions differently than the rest of it. Right. See, the problem is, like I said, if you start saying stuff like that, people that are thinking a certain way are going to think that you're justifying the person's actions, which is not what I'm doing.
20,000.
Also, even if it's based in their psychology or on their psychology, the manifestation of that psychology is evil acts. Therefore, I just call those people bad or evil, regardless of the reason, stupidity included. Yeah, no, I get what you're saying, but to me, I think of it as like, all right, let's take us out of the picture and let's think about like animals, right? Like a lot of people think that animals can't make decisions, but they can though, because you could put two things in front of a dog and, you know, two snacks. It's gonna pick the preferred snack. And you might say, well, it's just doing what its body tells it to do. I could say the same thing about us, you know what I mean? And so following that same logic, if a bear walked by you and didn't attack you, and the next bear walked by you and attacks you, I wouldn't say that the bear was evil. I would say that what just happened was crazy unfortunate, And I think animals have different personalities too. There's aggressive dogs. They could be the same species, and one could be aggressive, one could not. So one could bark, the other one could not. How much are they in control of that? Probably as much as we are, even though we don't like to think of it that way. Like I said, it's a weird thing to think about, but that's not to say that the things that you're doing aren't bad. It's still bad. I just think, like I said, evil to me is like the opposite of purity, and like it's like associated with like the devil and shit like that. So evil's just a weird word for me. If we just use the word bad, then I'll be like, hell yeah, there's bad people. The free will versus determinism debate is tough. It is. You know, that's one of the reasons I never really could seriously get down with religion, man. All conversations about free will were just weird, bro. Like, I never got good answers. Because I'll be like, are we in control or are we not? Because my pops will be like, oh, this is all part of God's plan. Everything's planned out. I'm like, well, how the fuck am I deciding if it's a plan, bro? Like, if you already know what I'm going to do, it's not free will. And you could be like, oh yeah, he knows, but he's just letting you do it. No, if you already know what's gonna happen, it's not free. I'm not really making the decision because how could I be? Yeah, good and evil are religious concepts. Exactly, but that's what I was saying. I just don't really like to use the word evil. If we just say bad or some shit like that, I'll be like, yeah, whatever. Concepts like morality or restraint don't exist in the same capacity for animals. Let's just call them that. Once you use your free will to drug yourself, you've lost it. That's an interesting statement. Very interesting statement. But on that same note, though, I always think about that when we talk about like murderers and stuff. Like, to me, I just really feel like in some capacity, you gotta be out of your mind to kill somebody, bro. I just don't think that's a regular thing to do. But for some people, we literally say, you know, they got insanity pleas. Like, this person was not of sane and sound mind when he did this. I think there's varying degrees, but like, I just feel like you gotta be crazy to kill somebody, bro. Like, I just feel like no regular person, it's just like, I'm gonna fucking kill this dude. Like, I feel like something gotta be crazy wrong with you, bro. You cannot have free will, be a religious person or a drug addict, and yet say you have your free will. Calvinists reject the notion of free will. They call it predestination. Oh yeah, I know. Some are predestined to heaven and some to hell, according to them. Yep. I want to say Jehovah's Witness are like that too. They got like certain groups that they're like, yeah, you're gonna go, and you're not. I couldn't murder someone unless my life or my loved one's life is in danger. Bro, I'll take it a step further. I still couldn't murder them purposely if my life was in danger. If I killed them by way of what I did, then that's just what it is. Like, if I shot you because I thought you were about to shoot me and you died, and you died. But I, even if I was being shot at, would not say I'm gonna try to kill this person. I would just want you to stop shooting at me, if that makes sense. Which is how you're trained in the military. So, morals and drugs either build or destroy boundaries. Your free will is therefore restrained or uncontrollable. Yeah, that's why I really don't be giving passes to cops, man. Because when I was in the military, if you guys know about the Geneva Convention and shit, bro, once you shoot someone, first of all, you have to try to shoot them center mass. You cannot aim at someone's head. If they get hit in the head, it's fine, but you can't aim. You have to try to hit them center mass. Once you shoot them, if they drop their weapon, you cannot kill them. Someone could have just slaughtered all your friends, bro. You could be the very last one. You shoot him, and he's like, and he's on the ground. You have to try to give this dude medical aid now, bro. You're not allowed to kill him. That is against the Geneva Convention. You will fucking go to jail in America if you do that, bro. And so for me, I'm just like, bro, if we have to do that to fucking people in other countries, you should be able to do that to your fellow Americans. Like, you should not be thinking like, oh, well, he shot at me. All 20 of us need to empty our mags. Like, no, bro. The American military complex with some ethics. Yeah, that shit. It's weird too because like it's like the most racist dudes in the world, and but they'll just be like, hey, that's against the Geneva Conventions. That's wrong. We can't do that. Then the same note, they're like, let's go. I'm not gonna say the word, but they're like, let's go kill some. You know. What's crazy is sometimes people say phrases and words and they don't really think about what it means, bro. When I was in the army, I don't know if you guys have heard the word sand in the word. This dude said that. He literally said, I can't wait to kill some sand. And I'm like, you gonna say that shit in front of me, bro? Like, but in his head, he's like, oh, I'm talking about brown people. I'm not talking about, I didn't say the N word by itself. I said sand. And I'm just like, stop talking to me, dog.
You said our love with conviction.
How much killing is cool? Exactly.
Are you trying to tell us that you loved him too?
Yes.
I've heard that's only in conventional warfare.
I did come to love him in a way.
Uh,
He's a good, kind man.
So sweet.
everything we do is conventional warfare.
Really? I thought it was for scars. I love good scars.
The brain isn't branding for dudes like that.
But that's just silly.
Yeah, bro. But you know,
Jim, keep $10 million.
there's a lot of stuff like that, man. There's a lot of things people say.
What are you doing here?
There's been a handful of senators that have
Secret compartments on the boat or something.
said racist things, and they're just like, oh, I didn't know. Because they said it their whole life. Their grandparents said it. I remember there was a member of parliament in the UK that, you know how we say a needle in a haystack? She said an N-word in a woodpile in a like big fucking meeting, bro, on TV, and no one blinked, and people were just like, did she just say an N-word in a woodpile? And it was a big thing, and she was like, oh, I didn't know that was racist. Like, I was saying it as an expression, not like saying it towards a person. And I was just like, I don't even know what to say about that. There's a legal term for when soldiers take their uniform off. Different rules apply. Yeah, that's not true, bro. The only reason that the different rules apply is just that you're unsure of what's happening. But if they take their uniform off, then they're a civilian. Either way, you can't treat a civilian worse than you can treat a soldier. You get what I'm saying? So it doesn't matter if they take their uniform off.
$10 million.
You ever had someone tell you you're one of the good ones? Yeah, bro, I've been there. When I was younger, people used to try to say stuff like that to me. I'd be like, yeah, you're crazy. But yeah, Rolando, what you're talking about is that, so normally you cannot shoot a civilian. When people take their uniforms off, of course you can shoot them if they're trying to shoot at you. They're not a civilian anymore, but they don't have a military uniform on. That still doesn't change the fact that you can't aim at their head. If they drop their weapon, you can't shoot them. Bro, you can go, because it's, especially because we're America and we believe that you have the right to bear arms, bro. You could be in a village in Afghanistan and every person in the village can have an AK-47 and be staring at you. As long as they're not pointing it at you, you can't do shit, bro. And in fact, if you really look up the rules, they can point it at you. They just can't shoot. The moment they shoot, they become a combatant. But if they just do this, because They're like, why are you on my property? You can't shoot them. It doesn't matter that you're in Afghanistan at war. You can't shoot people just because they have guns, which goes back to what I said about cops. These dudes are in Afghanistan with people speaking a language they don't know, pointing an AK-47 at their head and they can't shoot them. But if any random American does this, why? We go back to the situation where people tell me that you're not black. Jalen, is that when people get arrested on war crimes? Yeah, depending on if somebody snitches on you. A lot of times they get away with that shit because if you kill everybody, then who's gonna tell? You know what I'm saying? And most of the time, your friends aren't gonna tell on you. Did our troops adhere to those laws? See, this is where you're talking about snitching. If I say no, then people are gonna be like, "So you witnessed it?" I don't know, bro. You have to ask somebody. You have to ask somebody, but not me. You're supposed to adhere to those laws, and if you don't, I will hope that somebody reported you. You know, that's all I can say about that. I definitely would not tell you that I saw it happen because then I would be an accomplice to those war crimes. But no, I actually have not seen that happen.
When you pushed Jim to tell you where he'd hidden the money, Jim wouldn't tell you. You got mad and you killed him. You probably didn't do it on purpose, did you?
I don't interact with police often, but I keep calm and let the ego go, especially on the ones that want to argue. Yeah, I've always been like that. My parents told me, actually the expression just lost. I just lost it. The essence of the expression is you can't fight them in court if you're dead. You know what I'm saying? And so that's what my parents always told me. Like, survive the situation and you could think about suing later. But you don't, like, I genuinely do not understand when people argue with the cops. I'm like, you can't arrest me. And they're like fighting. I'm like, bro, just go to jail. Just go to jail. It's really not worth dying, bro. And I know people will say, well, no, you shouldn't do that because that's just enabling them. And I'm like, bro, you can do whatever you want. If a police officer pulls me over, as much as I don't like interacting with them, I speak to them with respect. I say, hey, how you doing, sir? Tell me what you need. Is it okay if I reach for this? Thank you. Have a nice night. And yeah, like, no matter what they say. Like, I remember one time a cop told me I was speeding, and I was like, really? I was like, oh, I thought it said 60. I'm like, I guess you had, like, a speedometer. And he was like, well, don't worry about it. You were speeding. And I was like, okay, yeah, I was, for sure. I just let it go. I'm like, why would I go back and forth to him? At the end of the day, he's still going to give me a ticket. And you know what? I went to the courthouse, and I told the judge, I was like, I swear, I didn't go 60. And he's just like, okay. And I promise you, I got my ticket erased. I didn't even have to pay it. And I'm like, what was this, bro? Like, why did I have to come to court and tell you that I wasn't speeding? I don't know, but I know I wasn't gonna die for that shit.
Good luck.
Hey, Carlos, what's up, bro? Yo, that time you told me you were gonna do YouTube Live, I swear I never saw you do a YouTube Live. Yeah, Mike. I be thinking the same thing. I don't really want something to happen to me, but I'm like, bro, go ahead and give me $1 million lawsuit. I be seeing dudes get slammed on the ground and shit, like not doing anything. I'm like, bro, I don't want to get slammed on the ground. I don't want to put myself at risk. But I wish a cop would say some racist shit to me or something. And I'll be like, sir, yes, sir. And I'll be like, I hope this shit is on camera, bro. I'm trying to get paid.
You call that a uniform shirt? It's filthy.
People get killed during traffic stuff like that. Yeah, bro, it's the weirdest thing to me too. I don't know if people just be having like bad days or not thinking clear or what. Tocó hacer algo. Oh, okay. Bro, estaba esperando como, ¿dónde está? It's a shame. Yeah, you said it is a shame, but it be like that. It be like that. But yeah, man. I just don't think my life is worth it in anything, bro. I'm always picking living over whatever is going on, bro. Fighting anything. And so that's why I always tell people, like, I fought when I was a teenager, bro. As a grown man, I did not be trying to fight people, bro. Because whenever violence is initiated, you have to always assume that another person will escalate it higher. And that's how people shoot people. Because let's say me and you are gonna fight, you're thinking in your head, this dude might push me into the ground and keep punching me until I die. So what do you think? Oh, I need to pull out my gun because this is my life at risk. Now what do I think? This dude just pulled a gun on me. I need to pull out my gun and we kill each other or someone dies. When I could just be like, I'm not trying to fight you, dog. It's 11:11. How come? What do you mean, how come? Sometimes it's just 11:11. I hope you made a wish. That's what I be doing on 11/11. Even though they never come true. I've been doing that shit since I was like 6 years old. That shit never works, bro. Hey, Mike, you know what Riz means? Felipe was up in here asking me about slang earlier, and I was trying to describe Riz. And I was like, yo, bro. I was like, that's really like some little kid slang. People are unhappy out here looking for conflict. I'm at the grocery store the other day. I slow down and let someone pass. Dude legit gets mad because I didn't try to run into him. Yo, that reminds me, bro. Another video. See, this is why I said I need a list of videos to send y'all when I get off of here. But there's this page on TikTok. And like, it's like it's California, Washington, that whole area. And it's like places to catch a fade. And it'll literally, like, dudes literally, like, narrating. He's like, yo, come to this 76 gas station. He's like, there's people walking through here all day. He's like, this how you do it. He's like, this called a panhandle fade. He's like, what you do is you wait outside. Somebody walks by you. You ask them, can they spare you some change? They say no, of course, because nobody ever wants to spare change. He's like, you wait for them to come back out and you ask them again. Then they're going to get agitated because you asked them twice. That's an easy way to start a fight. And I'm like, bro's doing tutorials on starting fights, bro? And he's literally got it for like all these different locations. He's like, oh yeah, here is the easy one. He's like, this door is super small. Just walk in at the same time as the dude. Y'all gonna bump into each other. As soon as he looks at you, just be like, what the fuck you looking at? And I'm just like, this is the kind of people I'm trying to avoid, bro. So yeah, just know that there's literally people out there that are trying to start a fight with you, bro. Literally trying to start a fight. Yeah, it is mainstream. But it's hard to explain though. There's a ton of Taliban vids on YouTube. They seem pretty legit. Have you seen them? Nah, bro, I don't be watching terrorist videos. I can tell you right now for sure that Homeland Security definitely monitors everything that you do if you're watching Taliban videos. Dudes don't be having nothing to do or it's Arrested Development. I'm trying to avoid people like that at all costs. Yeah, man. Like, unfortunately, bro, there's actually lots of people that are unhappy, that have achieved nothing in life, and they need some excitement, bro. The same way, like, rich old people, like, go jump off of fucking buildings with parachutes. These dudes' lives are so boring and unfulfilled that they're trying to get an adrenaline rush, too. It's the same reason, like, toxic couples argue all the time, bro. It's like the only way that they could get a rush, like just yelling at each other and shit. Riz is to have game. Nah, finesse is different. Finesse is like, oh, I know the way you're thinking of finesse, but still no. Nah, she's not thinking of to finesse. She's thinking of doing something with finesse. But that's still a little bit different. Like, Riz really comes from the word charisma. But it's different now. Like, kids have morphed the word a lot. Yeah, so to finesse is what Mike just said. But that's what I was about to tell you, G. So when you say finesse in English, especially to black people, finessing is like swindling people out of their money and shit. If I say he's a finesser, that means like, bro, don't do it. He's gonna steal your money. Not through sweet talk. But it could be. It could be. You could get finessed through sweet talk. But maybe like I don't know if people do this in Colombia, but there's this thing that people do in the States all the time. Like, hey, if you send me $200, I'll send you back 400. It's this little network of blah blah. People sending 200, and they're like, I never got the 400. You got finessed, bro. They're not sending nobody. You don't get free money, bro. It doesn't work like that.
You're quite virtuoso. Thank you. But this would have been your most daring and successful crime yet. $10 million of Jim Colbrand's money.
Rolando, why were you thinking about that word?
Goldbrand.
I don't know what that is.
Rich, liquid, and unconventional. I've been in to check your references.
That sounds like one of those archaic English words. What does it mean?
You convinced Goldbrand that the train station was the genius place to hide his money. Screw orthodox wisdom. Think sideways, right? Right? And he ate it up. He ate it up. Why wouldn't he? Then you simply needed to get the key. He went to the yacht that night because he knew he'd be alone. You also knew he kept the key with him. You did what needed to be done. You killed Jim Goldbrand. And you got rid of the body.
It's a word in military law. That makes sense why it sounds so old. That sounds incredibly old. What? But you didn't tell me what it means, though.
You couldn't have known she smoked the real key.
All right, Mike. Mike, I didn't even tell you about the words that I was gonna tell you about, bro.
Tried to open the locker.
I'll text it to you.
We came to guide Matrix.
But there's 3 words.
Key. Then it dawned on you what she'd done. I can only imagine your surprise. 6 months living in that chair. 6 months. No one ever questioned me about it.
Okay, so
Whenever I meet somebody in a wheelchair, I check the bottoms of their shoes.
first, Mike, how would you say somebody's ashy in Spanish if you had to guess? Giselle, don't tell him.
Your shoes. You're scuffed.
I had never heard this word until today.
I've been checking shoes for years. This is the first time it's ever paid off. First time. It's gratifying, man.
But basically, my therapist called me ashy, dog. Do you know how to find a video by date on YouTube search history? No. So that's what I would have said, right? But this lady told me that here,
Oh, yeah.
that they say Rusio or Rusia, like
Let you go again, but
it's like a word that kind of means like gray.
I understand.
that
But
hurts.
she was trying to say that shit to me, and I was like, what? And then I was like,
It'll keep biting you in the ass.
oh, like ashy.
Cuddle her occasionally.
And then
Not to do this.
she was like, estás re ashy. And I was like, damn. Yeah, I taught her that shit. She called me ashy like 10 more times, bro. I was like, that's almost racist, but you're not American, so.
Worth a try.
Brooke Harbor and Agent Fred Hayes held me in charge of transporting you to the
Yeah, dog. I was like, is this a roasting session or a therapy session? Yeah, she's hella cool.
See you around.
But so, anyways, we started talking about
What do you know about that, Agent?
racism, right? And she was telling me that there is no racism here like that. Well, she said there is, but it's different, blah blah. But I was telling her that a lot of times racism is hidden in the language that people use. Like people say, like I just told you, people say sand N-word and they don't even think about what they say. So I was telling her how many people here say malicia indígena. Do you know what that is, Mike? But they just say that shit and they don't even think. They just say it like it's an everyday thing, bro. And I'm like, wow, that's kind of crazy to say. I mean, I say it too, but just like that expel you do that expression. That's crazy. That's a crazy thing to say. Giselle, who are you replying to? Who said that word? Carlos, why'd you just randomly say ashy? I didn't say that. What are you talking about? I never said that word.
Excuse me. What kind of tree is this?
Oh, I think you missed the joke, Giselle. She said that I was re ashy,
So you're not a local?
like super ashy. I didn't say that word.
Give a crap about trees.
Yeah, they do say ragheads and towelheads. Um, Mike, there was a third word that I was gonna tell you about. Oh, so today I found out through her again that, well, I had to look it up because I almost didn't believe her because I heard it so much in the States. But this is a classic example of Anglicisms that become basically law. Aseguranza is not a real word. Didn't know that. So many Mexicans and people in the United States say aseguranza that I thought it was a real word. It's an Anglicism.
What's for the ankle bracelet?
Good question. Mr. McLean. This is the
I literally looked that shit up. I was all up in La Rai, like, is this valid? And they're just like, no. I literally tweeted them. I'm like, aseguranza. ¿Es válido? ¿Es correcto o no? No.
What kind of school is this exactly? Bright Arch was a wilderness.
Like insurance.
Like a summer
Yeah, seguro is the right word. So I knew seguro was the right word. I just thought aseguranza was also a word because of how many people in the United States say, I don't know shit about insurance.
Of course.
So to me, just because, like I said, I heard it so much, I assumed it was a real word.
What is that? No comment.
Didn't know it was a fake word.
Chief Brody? What is it like?
Late to the party. Phil, yeah, bro, you hella late. I'm probably about to get off in like 5 minutes, dog.
Respect for, yes.
Yeah, cachar. There's a lot of stuff that Mexicans say that's like hella Anglicisms. And some of it's just funny. I think we might have talked about this before, like the word for tuxedo. Like they don't know that they're saying an English word in Spanish.
Yeah, we'll do that.
Yep, you can take it. Have the basic facts.
Procrastinar.
Yeah.
You want to enlighten us?
Yeah, there's a lot of words like that.
Forensics probably told you a lot.
See, at least with
I guess.
Puerto Rico, they don't turn it into a Spanish word. They just say it. So it's never just like, oh, I didn't know that came from this. Like you basically know you're saying an English word.
Which means that the
Right, Rolando. That's what I'm saying. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to say it wasn't a real word. I just didn't know that it. I didn't know that you couldn't use it in the context of
you dislike Mr.
insurance because so many people say it like that.
liberal wacko. He's probably running some.
Carlos, you think that's funny?
He dislikes you because you're a small-minded provincial hayseed.
Carlos, you're still in South Carolina, right? Have you heard any weird Spanish from people that speak Spanish? Like even if they're if it's their first language, have you heard any words in South Carolina where you're just like that's not the word? I see. Bro, I'm glad you said that. Yo, my Spanish teacher taught me that when I was real young, and I used to say that, and people would be like, and I'd be like, really? And I'd be like, oh, damn, I thought my Spanish teacher told me that. They say it like so-so, bro.
How about passing an entire week with him?
Dr. J, for a lot of good things about you.
Yeah, exact, bro. That's literally how she taught me to use it, bro. I swear to God. And I felt so crazy for a long time because like Will and a lot of the people that I started speaking to never lived in the United States. So they just would be like, nah, you must have heard them wrong or something. I'll be like, no, I promise you, this lady would say, you could say, I see as a response to como estás. I probably said that like the first 2 years that I spoke Spanish, bro. What does su merced mean? It means your majesty. Su merced. It's a more proper term than it's not. Oh, it's because it's two different words. It's su merced. It's like your majesty. That's one of those things where like Spanish helps you learn English more because I never thought about the term your majesty before. And I'm just like, why the fuck do we say your majesty? Because at first I was like, su merced makes no sense. Because I'm like, you're saying like, you get what I'm saying? You get what I'm saying? So I started thinking, I'm like, your majesty. Why would I look at someone and say, your majesty as a reference to them? Because like your majesty would be something separate than yourself. Whatever. Yeah, it's your mercy, but I said your majesty to give it a more like a more equal term because we would never say your mercy in English. But people do say your majesty. Jalen, read? What am I supposed to read? The last thing you said was what? Americans use it here a lot. Yeah, that's what I'm saying, bro. I'm telling you. I tried to explain to people, they didn't understand. No. What are you saying? Like 5 minutes. I gotta scroll up now.
Justin hurts, but his death cannot become your crutch for a negative attitude. You can learn.
Yeah, but Giselle, what I was telling you is that I taught her the word ashy, so then she was using it to be funny, so she said ashy.
Think there's all the more reason to do it now. We need
Así comes from French?
The strangers you see here are detectives that will be investigating the situation with Justin. They are here to find out.
But anyways, this is the tough part about being an interpreter. You know, lots of people give, like especially in the fight game, they give people a lot of shit for their interpretations of what the fighters say. But the thing is, if you do literal translations, it doesn't sound good. Like we just said, saying your mercy, it's not, it wouldn't, even if it was the right translation, if you were trying to do an interpretation, it wouldn't sound right. Because when you talk about like the queen or the king, like you say your majesty or your highness or something like that, no one says your mercy. So I think that's probably why I gave up on my dream of being an interpreter. I'm like, that's too difficult, bro.
I'm sorry about that.
Too difficult.
Bright Arch, shall we convene in my office?
Your mercy's not right either. Damn, Rolando, she called you a bitch. Because it's used with hand movements. Yeah, well, that's how it is in English too. People be like, I see, or so. And English would be like, so. But they taught us in school that you could use I see like that. Merced means disposition. Well, you definitely ain't gonna translate that shit as your disposition. That's ugly as hell. So that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Being an interpreter, that's crazy. That's crazy. Today these boxers were having a face-off, and the interpreter basically didn't translate because literally, I'm not even joking, this was the conversation. There's a Cuban dude looking at a Mexican dude. The Cuban dude's like, te voy a poner en el piso y te pongo a mamar. And the Mexican dude's like, yeah, te voy a mamar y te voy a dar por el culo. And the interpreter just kind of looked at the crowd and he just didn't say anything.
Kids love to feed off the drama of
Merced means mercy. Uh-oh, we're having a nerd debate. Rolando versus Giselle. I'm gonna put my money on Giselle because she's a master of bilingualism.
How long has Bright Arts been running? Almost 10 years now.
But Rolando just said, at the mercy of the king, a la merced del rey. Ooh, Giselle, he's applying pressure. What you gotta say about that? Oh, she just said no. She said, shut your dumb ass up, boy. All right, let's see what's your defense, Giselle.
Oh, we really don't have to sell it. They come by word of mouth. This
This
is
is getting spicy.
natural healing.
Lame translation. What does that mean?
To get in touch with their inner resources. Because
I was trying to instigate, but she just went harder than my instigation. I don't even gotta say nothing, bro. I don't think she's trolling. I don't think lame is as strong to her as it is to us. That shit was funny. I promise you, I don't think she's trolling. She might be bored, but she ain't trolling. Oh, Rolando, don't get hurt, bro. English ain't her first language, bro. She's not trolling. I promise you, when she said lame translation, she wasn't trying to hurt your feelings, bro. This did get a little bit heated. I instigated that, but like I said, that's not Giselle's first language isn't English, so she wasn't trying to go hard with that. It was just funny. Merced is related to deeds. He said I'm hurt though. Bro, it's hard, man. Speaking in a second language is tough, bro. Especially when you're trying to argue points and shit, bro.
We don't take him in the first place. I bet thoroughly.
You are given by the crown. So you're saying, like, what are you saying, Giselle? Are you saying, why aren't you saying, why is it not mercy? Why is that not a good translation? That's what I need to know. Because I think your majesty is a good interpretation, but I think, why wouldn't mercy be the translation? Yeah, you was projecting a little bit, but it's all good, dog. We back on track. We're just having a friendly translation debate. Honestly, when I think of translating, I think the idea of translating something is like, it sounds like it makes sense until you really think about it. And you're just like, yeah, this doesn't make sense, because how can you translate a concept? It's already hard to put a word on a concept, especially when the concept is related to a certain time or a tradition that doesn't even exist anymore. So, trying to do a translation, you're just like, yeah, our language doesn't really fit this, so you can only do the closest thing. Merced refers to deeds. I'm not gonna lie, I really don't understand that, but I feel like you do know what you're talking about. But it doesn't make sense. Like, how does that properties and titles given to you by a higher power?
CBI, that's police, so we don't back chat. Do exactly as I tell you. All this. CBI.
What is the original argument here? Or the original argument is that your mercy is not a good translation. Why is your disposition a good translation? That's what we really need to ask. Why is your disposition, or what are you saying is a translation, Giselle? Give us just the translation line, and then we can ask more questions about it. This is not making sense to me now. I have to dig into this more.
Okay, my people, we have precious little time until our friend returns. I need to know who knows most about water around here.
Elliot's been here like 2 years, so he knows everything.
Giselle, just tell us
Yeah, no woods, huh?
your best translation of Su Merced.
Who disliked him?
Nobody, he was fine.
Oh, he said that like he was a prize jerk.
No, he wouldn't win any prizes.
I mean, he was basically a good kid, but he just fought a lot.
It means you are my patron?
Out in the woods.
Who knows?
It was our bad place.
You see what she's saying? I think I don't. Let me see.
Zachariah.
Oh, I serve you. Oh. Okay.
Who's Zachariah?
I was wondering if we were having the same definition of patron, but now I see, yeah.
Yeah, I was just kidding.
That actually makes sense.
Come on, guys, aren't you a little old to believe in stuff like that?
A year ago,
But to be honest,
they found a townie kid dead in the woods.
yeah, at your disposition, yeah. Before when you just put disposition, I was thinking your disposition, and I'm just like, how does that make sense? But now, I get what you're saying now.
Was Justin in Z-Crew?
Jane? Jane. What the hell
That
are you
that
playing at?
makes
You
sense.
can't tie people up.
Yeah, sorry.
I should think you would be.
My apologies.
Mm,
Back tomorrow morning if that's convenient.
See you in the morning.
that makes sense. But that,
Pick up something useful from the trouble.
to be honest, yeah, I get what you're saying from a translation standpoint, but to be honest,
Yes, Z.
that's not that different than your mercy, because that's what your mercy means too. Like, I'm at your mercy because you're the boss. Because so I serve you.
So, what?
That's why in Spanish is like a form of usted. Yeah.
You ever read your own phone?
Yeah, I ain't never saying that shit anyway, so it doesn't matter. But this was an interesting conversation. Very, very interesting. And now I will be well informed when I laugh at people from Bogota when they say that shit. Giselle, that girl that I teach, Lauren, she says that shit. And she really tried to teach me for like 15 minutes why it was such a good thing to say. And I was like, you're a slave. Yeah, it's a Bogota thing, bro.
That has a mark on his mouth with skull and crossbones.
So what are the usual reasons for being Jew?
I'll tell you all about sometime. Hey, check this out.
Here's the quote he says.
Looks like Justin Chu. Yep. I'll call forensics. Mark it up.
But he didn't post the quote. But I was supposed to get off here at 11:30. It's 11:40. I gotta wait for this quote from Rolando.
Anybody home? Hello?
Mercy is that you're asking for my favor.
CBI.
Kinda.
Try this.
See, that's the other thing about words. That's why translations get weird. Because I think that I don't know how to explain this, but from the way that people use the word mercy
In the criminal justice
in
system,
Spanish,
sexually
it's
based
different than the way that people use
offenses
mercy in
are
English. How they might have used mercy in the past could be different.
Here you again.
The dedicated detectives who investigate
But
these vicious felonies.
I don't know how to describe it, but it's just different.
They're members of the Special Victims Unit. Too dangerous.
I can protect her.
Rolando, that really doesn't make your point. But I get what you're saying. I think that this is a debate that actually can't really go anywhere because, like I said, like the more you go over in a language and the further time goes, the less the translation means. It's like everything that happens in like the old Bibles and shit like that. They're like, oh well, yeah, it says this, but in the fucking 3000 BC, they actually use this word to mean this. And I'm like, well, what the fuck is the point of doing a translation then if we're gonna be like, this is not even what the word means? Does that make sense? Like, did you get my pics? I mean, I see it, but bro, once I click out of this YouTube, I'm gone, bro. So I'll read it once I get off. I might as well go. I'm gonna go to 11:45. 4 more minutes. I promise you, at 11:45, I'm hitting the X. I don't care what y'all are talking about.
No, maybe we should do it. Just tell everyone I got.
Mercy in Spanish translates. Gracias. Interesting. Interesting. So gracia has multiple meanings. The ability to provide for kitties. Amigo, ¿qué es lo que hay? ¿Qué está pasando? What's up, bro? Yeah, like I said, man, it's better to just not translate because then you get messes like this. And the thing too is that this always happens too, because I do this too. When someone speaks your language as a second language and they do a translation, it's so easy to just be like, no, that's not a good translation. Because you know the full connotation in your first language. So it's easy in the second language to be like, no, that's not a good word to use. But the person who's speaking the second language is not going to understand what you're saying. It's really hard. Just like, you know, kind of like the last time when we were talking about the good evening thing, or I don't know if Mike's still on here, but Mike, I was trying to tell you, so like, when I see people use the word moreover, if they're not people learning their second language, I'm just like, what are you doing, bro? Like, why are you saying moreover? Like, why are you doing that? But it's something, some things are hard to explain to someone in their second language. So Giselle could tell us this is a better translation, and she could explain it to us, and we might understand, but we might not. We might just be like, that shit doesn't make sense because we don't have the full lifetime of connotation behind the word, or the academics to back it up or something. Correct. Older Bibles use words differently than today. But that's my point. My point is, it's almost impossible to translate something. You can only just get as close as possible. You get what I'm saying? And sometimes it's close, sometimes it's not. But some cultures don't have certain things, so there's no real word for it. Oh, 11:44.
My security alarm went off. I was loaded. I reacted. That's all.
Well, it's gonna be 11:45 soon, so I'm just gonna get off now. Say my pieces. Peace to everybody that stopped in. I don't think Mike, Carlos, or any people that were in here earlier are still here, but I appreciate y'all too. Rolando, Giselle, y'all have an amazing night. Don't call people's translations lame. Don't call people bored next time. Even the word mercy can mean slightly different things. Yes, it can, exactly. But we're not going to talk about that because it's 11:45. I will read the passages you sent me. Yes, you can right at the end. All right, peace. I'm getting off. I don't care what y'all talking about. Bye.